People, it is Joe or Leeds TV. How are we? I'm not expecting big numbers because, it's the dying minutes of the under 23s game. There you go. It's now finished 3-2, extra time. So hopefully we'll get some viewers come in now. How is everyone doing then? All good, I hope. It's been definitely an interesting few days. 24 hours really after yesterday's game. What's everyone's thoughts on the game? Obviously, it's been shrouded in controversy, rightly or wrongly. You've got the Bamford situation. Mateus Click getting called, scum and all sorts by these righteous Villa fans. We've got people having a go at Janssen. It's the mad thing is the media. It doesn't. We never do well in the media. We're never going to get a fair shake. I think a lot of these Villa fans need to check themselves though. Ultimately, some of the tripe that's coming out on social media from the Villa fans is absolutely mental. I've seen all sorts. Obviously, we've also had Chris Wilder come out and call us Leeds Muppets. I think it. The mad thing was, any sort of media just knew that he'd had one too many few beers and were just putting a microphone in front of his mouth. But you can forgive the guy. Ultimately, he's Sheffield born. He's seen his team go up. He probably has a lot of mates that are Leeds fans, and he's just probably rubbing their nose in it a little bit. If he was our manager, and our manager had said something along them lines, you'd be buzzing. And it's much like the Bamford situation as well. Listen, if it happened to us, if the shoe was on the other foot, you'd be absolutely raging. I do think El Ghazi's card will be rescinded. Could Bamford, get retrospective action? Who knows? The main questions for me is more so on Bamford's performances. I want you to put in your comments, and we'll get to your comments a little bit later on. I want you to tell me what your thoughts are on Bamford. For me, he should be out of the side. I said it pre-Preston. Now, if you watch my pre-match that I did with Conor before the Preston game, I said the only change for me, I'd be playing Roof instead of Bamford. He goes and scores 2 goals. And this is the thing with Bamford. His goal-to-game ratio is pretty decent. However, we'd be kidding ourselves if we don't think he should have had more. He should have had an hat-trick in the space of 10 minutes against bloody Reading, for God's sake. He should have had an hat-trick against Preston. He had an opportunity. He's been woeful a lot of the time for me. And it's never good to be negative towards one of your own players, I guess, and a lot of people disagree with it and don't like it. Support the boys until the end, all that jazz. But ultimately, if they're not, for me, putting it in 100%, because I don't think he is, especially in these aerial challenges or putting himself about. I just don't think he is. And for me, Roof should start on Sunday. I've seen a lot of stuff on social media today on about shall we rest them? Shall we put a lot of youth in? Okay, I get that, but for me, we need them to continue the vein of form that they had at Villa. I thought they were back to a decent level against Villa. We were really poor against Wigan. Brentford, for me, it was always going to be a difficult place to go. I think Conor mentioned it before. You shouldn't really be ashamed losing down there. Brentford's a difficult place historically for Leeds to go, and I think they've won 14, maybe 15 games at home. They're a very, very good side. If Brentford could sort their away form out, believe me, they'd be up there challenging. And I just thought we looked back to a decent level against Villa on Sunday. So therefore, for me, I don't want to be making too many changes because I'd want Roof back in the side and I want him to get amongst the goals. I want Click to get back amongst the goals. I want Pablo to get amongst the goals. And we have every opportunity to do that. Listen, I made a mistake before when I said we should be beating Wigan. I put my neck on the line. I said 4-0. I got a lot of bad sort of like negativity on the back of that, but it was my opinion leading up to the game. I'm not going to say... Well, what I don't want to do is make any bold predictions against Ipswich, because I've ended up with egg on my face and I don't want to, do that anymore. But I do think there's the opportunity there for us to get amongst the goals and get some real confidence back in the side, because they're poor. They're very, very poor. And even against Sheffield United, I mean, they were piss poor. They offered nothing. I watched that game. Well, when the second went in from O'Connell, I turned it off, if I'm totally honest. But just because I was annoyed, But yeah, let me know your thoughts in terms of, I know this is mental, but I said in the old Leeds TV group chat, I said, can you imagine if Bamford gets retrospective action and he receives a second yellow for simulation? I'm not sure how that would work, because he got a yellow as part of the melee that ensued. I think his yellow was given because he put his arm round Hourihane, or it might have been arm round El Ghazi, who then swung back and struck him. So I don't know if he would get another yellow on top of that, because the yellow was given within that moment. But yeah, I'd said in the All Leeds TV group chat, for me, Bielsa's reluctant to take him out of the side. Maybe that happening could have a positive swing on it, because it would mean Roof would be back leading the line. I think a lot of us want Roof back leading the line. I don't want Roof to come on second half and put in the number 10 role, because it's not worked. Roof on the wing has not worked. We had that last season. For me, Roof should be leading the line. I heard it on the Square Ball podcast. Revert back to type. Go back to what worked in the early parts of the season. And that midfield trio was one that we seen on Sunday, was one of, was quite pivotal in that period. And I think Bielsa's toyed with KP and Forshaw. They can all play in the same side. Click KP and Forshaw. It showed that on Sunday for me. I thought they did really, really well. The only thing I will say, Claudio's here, Barker's finally, needs to get sharing it to the groups if he can. The only thing that for me Forshaw isn't great at, and maybe it's finishing. I don't know, listen, I might be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but when was the last time Adam Forshaw scored a goal? Someone do some research and please let me know that. There was the effort that he had on Sunday, which he had so much time. I think Pablo Click in that situation, or at least hitting the target, and that's the one negative for me to Forshaw's game in that role. For me, he's not going to get many goals from that position, as say, Click or Pablo in that position, if you look at his opportunity that he had on Sunday. I'll tell you, funny though, social media has been so funny. The Villa fans have been so salty, so salty, Listen, this is just my opinion. I love that Leeds hate us. I love that everybody hates Leeds. I don't, honestly, it gets me going. And they hate Leeds because they're not Leeds, right? We're a tight-knit group. We're everywhere. I don't know, I just think sometimes we're a little bit of a different breed, just my opinion. And in the Cop on Sunday, after we scored that goal, especially with the hand that we were being dealt with by the ref, for me, I thought he had a shite game. On reflection, I've seen a bit more. I can sort of see Villa fans, they were also unhappy with him. They had a penalty shout, I think. But I still think we were dealt a poor hand. I thought he had an absolute shocker, did that well. And the fact that we're going to... It looked like Roberts was going to put it out of play. The fact that he went on and scored, I just loved it. I'm not going to lie. Because in my head, I'm thinking the media are going to hate this. And I'm like, yes, man. Come on, Leeds. I went mental. And someone let off a flare and it was absolute scenes, buzzing. And I was gutted when Bielsa went and let them score. I'm not going to lie. Absolutely gutted. I think a lot of us were. We're all turning like, why has he done that? Why has he done that? On reflection, I think it was a positive. Because can you imagine the media and the opposing football world, because they all hate us. They all love to hate us. I mean, yeah, you've got... Look, Man United, scum, were playing City, right, in the Manchester derby. And you could hear Leeds are falling apart again. Every single team that come to Ellen Road, we go a goal behind, even when we were top of the table, and they start singing it to us. Everybody hates us. And it's hard when things are going bad, because everyone, I'm not going to lie, like nearly every single fan wants to have a go at you, because, you know, you're Leeds, and it's cool to not like Leeds. But when it's going well, it's fucking brilliant. I love it, man. I'm not gonna lie. And if we do it right, if we do go up, I swear to God, I can't wait. You know, because for me, the dream's still alive. After Sunday, listen, I was so... Even people said to me, look, it wasn't normal seeing me so pessimistic or negative in a pre-match against Villa. But I was literally just so nervous, because I felt on the form that we were in, and Leeds falling apart, and the way we throw it away at times, because I just felt, oh man, if we're on the end of a hiding here, I can't deal with it. I can't deal with... I think we're the first team in over a decade that's been top at Christmas that's not going to go up automatically. I remember going through it in one of my pre-matches. It might have even been a Monday Night Football back before Christmas or just after Christmas, reeling off stat after stat after stat. Whoever's been top at Christmas has gone up automatic. Whoever's this, whoever's that. And there was about 3 or 4 stats, and then it's our time, it's written in the stars, all that stuff. And it's just such a Leeds thing for us to be the one team that breaks that hoodoo in over a decade. It's what we do, right? Look at, even just results this season tell you, Wigan, not won since August, Birmingham, both games. Birmingham had won in 5, QPR, 15 losses, and we're the 1 win? It's a Leeds thing to do. But how sweet would it be? How sweet would it be if we were to then go up through the playoffs? Oh my God, especially even do you know what made me laugh as well? And I get Wilder saying what he did. As I've explained earlier, he's probably got Leeds mates. He was rubbing it in. But isn't it mad that I spoke about, the scum and City derby. You got Sheffield United, yeah, that were promoted yesterday. Promoted to the Premier League. And their feed was full of Leeds. My mate, who's a Borough fan, messaged me, giving it all this. Ultimately, all their feed will have been full of Leeds. Because everybody loves to hate us. And do you know what? I love it. I love it. Kevin Keegan style rant. I will love it if we get promoted. Honestly, man, because, and even still, I've been projecting and thinking far ahead. For me, in terms of Bielsa staying, it's looking positive. It's looking very, very positive at this moment in time for me, right? It is looking positive. And if he does stay, believe me, we go up next year. Go up next year. I do genuinely believe that. He's already mentioned bodies in the door. I think Rads has to back him. I think Rads will have one more go at it and maybe throw some cash, put his money in his pocket, put his hand in his pocket, not his money in his pocket. We need that out of his pocket. But yeah, I do think, look, someone put up a stat the other day. I think Chris Wilder, first season in the Championship, finish wherever. Daniel Farker, first season in the Championship, finish way down. Marcelo Bielsa or Marcelo, I keep getting hammered for that. Marcelo, it's how I say it. If you don't like it, there you go. He's going to finish third. He's going to finish third in his first season in the Championship. And believe me, he'll have learned things. It's not over, but if we don't go up, I fancy us. Do you know what it is? I do fancy us over 2 legs against any side in the top 6 or in the 4 after top 2. I do, because ultimately we've only lost 1. And that was against West Brom. And we all know what we did to them in the reverse fixture. But Villa, for me, 10 wins in a row. Did they offer much on Sunday, really? I think Codra has that one opportunity that probably should at least hit the target, right? Yeah, Villa, what really, we beat them 3-2 at their place, 2-0 and they fucked it up. And they weren't that great on Sunday for me. Derby, we've absolutely schooled both games. If Borough get in there, 2 points, I think, to be fair, and this is a mad thing, like a lot of people are under the impression that, Borough would be an easy game. I speak to my mates at work and they're like, we won't get in, you'll hammer us. But they've been difficult when we've played Borough, because I was speaking to my friend Sean about it. Pulis is the perfect antidote to our football. I mean, my mate made a funny joke and just said basically he is the antidote to football, basically, because he's so anti-football. But I think, in all honesty, I think we'd struggle against Borough. I still think we'd beat them over 2 legs, but I'd much rather Derby. I would, because we've absolutely schooled Derby. And Lampard's naive and doesn't have it in his locker to be able to get and grind a result out against us. He just doesn't. For me, it'll be he'll try and meet fire with fire, and we'll beat him. And then the final's anybody's game. But let's all have a day out at Wembley. Let's do it. It'd cap off. Do you know what it is as well? After Sunday, and I said this to my pal. Cheated Derby, come on, man. I've just seen, listen, I will catch up with your comments. So any opposing fans that are in here, any Leeds fans, I will get through your comments and I will respond to them, positive and negative. Opposing fans love it. It opens up dialogue. We can listen to what you've got to say, take on board your points, and then just totally disregard them. Oh, Leeds are we? Let's have a look. We were on about Derby, weren't we? Yeah, so, I think we beat Derby, and then, as I say, anybody's game in the final. And after Sunday, that's what I was going to say, after Sunday, I'm glad, I'd rather go Portomatic, but you know what? I'm so pumped for the playoffs, and I'm glad that the season's going to be extended. It's been that much of a good season. Then why not? Why not, man? Let's do it. Let's have some more games. And how sweet would it be to go up at Wembley? I'm telling you, none of this. We'll take over that Wembley pitch. I'm telling you, straight on. Hey, there. So there's a little bit of rants. Let's get into some of your comments. As I say, there's actually 276 people watching this right now. That's absolutely huge. So for anybody that's watching, thank you so much for your support. You're absolute legends, each and every one of you. But we've got a Millwall fan in there. No, has anybody seen that video? Has anybody seen that video where it's where it goes in and it goes into Bermondsey, and then there's that last stud sat there going, Millwall, she is a beaut. So Ben the Beaver 32. That's the sort of talent you've got round your area, son. No, honestly, man. Neanderthals. How does everyone think to the t-shirt as well? The North is ours, marching on together. Beauty, that. From the terrace store. Absolute beauty. But yeah, let's get into some of your comments. So, under 23's just won. Yeah, I think we posted up, actually, Robbie Gotts's goal. Fan of the channel, friend of the channel, old Robbie Gotts. Absolute lovely ball by Izzy Brown, by the way. Lovely assist. I do think all Leeds TV have tweeted it out, so if you haven't had the opportunity to check that out, then make sure you do. Lund TV, evening pal, found your channel this season. Thank you for making this season even more enjoyable. Thank you so much for your continued support. I'm so grateful that we're held in that regard. I've had a lot of messages of that ilk that have said, you know what, it's been all the more sweeter because we've been able to enjoy the ride with yourselves. So that's great. So thank you so much for that, and thank you for your support and your continued support. Jack Glennie, fan of the channel, absolute legend. He basically said, "What's good, brother? I've calmed down now. No rants from me." Someone's asking what the score was with the under-23s. It was 3-2. LUFC Charlie has said, I wish Pontus would have tackled him. So do I, in all honesty. How mad would it have been if he'd have done that? And I think Bielsa understood why Pontus wanted to do it, because they put their all into the game, and they were getting a bad hand dealt by. Look, there's been a lot of footage put out about Bamford and all this situation, but there is also a lot of footage that's been replayed out about how Jack Grealish basically, listen, he can win a foul. I think Conor touched on it in his post-match. The way he domes his body and arches it round to win a challenge, much like Ayling does. It is a talent in itself. But if you're going to start digging out Bamford or other sort of players, then you need to be able to take it. And all this tosh that I've seen on social media from Villa fans saying Jack Grealish bossed it, need to watch that game again. Because I'm telling you, KP absolutely had him in his back pocket. I've seen a lot of negative stuff as well, saying, oh, he's a great player because he followed a man round the pitch. That's, for me, that's a good job. If you're able to keep somebody quiet, so there you go. I mean, there's a reason he's in the championship team of the year, because he's a top talent. He's great at what he does. I am far behind, so I will catch up. Stuart Kundal, we are cheats, but Mings stamps on people's faces, and JT Wayne Bridge is what I'll say. I almost said it in my post-match, and I had to check myself, because when John Terry, of all people, is trying to take the moral high ground against a guy like Bielsa, it's absolutely laughable. Do you know what I mean? It is absolutely laughable. But we all know what them Chelsea knobs are like. Fat Frank, John Terry, Ashley Cole or Cashley Cole. We know what they're all about. Gary Keith, Bamford is Bambi on ice. What a muppet for what he did in the Villa game. Damar Facey, Bamford is weak as pissed and soft as shit. Listen, I'm not going to, I'm more focused on his performances. It wasn't great what he did. We're all aware of that. But it's happened. We have to... Listen, he's a Leeds player. So ultimately he comes on, we need to support him. I know I'm saying I don't think he should be in the side at present, but I'm not gonna turn on the kid when he comes on at on the pitch. And I'm just looking now. I think all Leeds TV have just tweeted out Kuhn's goal. To be fair, Phil Hayes just give it a retweet. I'm just watching that. Oh, Kuhn, absolute beauty, better than Aguero. But yeah, Joshua Tuvi says consistency is key going into the playoffs. Couldn't agree more, and that's why I don't want changes to be made like crazy changes. I've seen a lot of mentions of bringing in like half of the under-23s against this Ipswich side. Not for me. We need to continue and build on the decent performance that was Sunday, and we need to score some goals, and if that's Bamford or if that's Roof, but let's have a look. Super LUFC is no fan cam from the Villa match. I do believe they will be, made a little bit late. I do apologise, but we will get it out there. I do promise you. Super LUFC says, I say we get Edmondson in for Bamford. There is a shout for that. I did look at the game on Sunday, and I kept turning to Sean and Claudio, the lads that I sit with, and was saying, like, I just don't see why you can't bring Izzy Brown on in this situation. Let's do it. Let's bring Izzy Brown on. There was scope for it. I thought Bamford was having a poor game. And what does everyone think to Roberts, right? How good was Roberts in the left wing? I thought he did really well, and he'll be dangerous coming in on his right foot. He almost scored. I think it was Mings that cleared it off the line. And in and around that box, when you're hitting a shot towards goal, it can end up anywhere. And I think he's an asset to have. I'd much rather have him starting than Jack Harrison, if I'm being totally honest. Leeds Carrasco. Yeah, I would much rather have that. And another mad thing, and I touched on it in my post match. KP's delivery from set pieces was class. The corners actually were dangerous. They were put into an area that could be headed, i.e. from Cooper or Janssen. Recent weeks, it's either not been getting past the first man or it's been fucking going straight over everybody's head and out for a throw-in. So Super LUFC, Rufus is just as shit as Bamford. Not true. I don't think either of them are that. They're not shit. I think that's a little bit too far. Listen, Bamford's goal to game ratio and Roof was on fire. Roof was on fire in the early parts of the season. You can't deny that. Tiger Steel with Klitsch's playing on. Yeah, I don't know if anyone's seen that, but on social media, I think it was like, you can have one man down or two man down, paramedics on. I can't remember the next bit, but it was something like Klitsch's playing on. Like, if that got brought out against Ipswich, which it could do, because as I say, the away support is absolutely unreal at Leeds, and they do have good banters, so it would be class to get that going. It was like, you could have one man down or two man down, paramedics on. Don't know that next bit, but then it's like Klitsch is playing on. I don't know as well. I don't know if any of you had the opportunity, but if you also heard the Cooper one, the Cooper one's class as well. Carl Watson, there you go, 9:44. Joe sing us a song. All leads our way. All right, mate. Do you want me to I'll sing you the Cooper one. Cooper, we're not the same without you. And the crossfield balls that you do. You're our skipper, our captain, you lead through and through. Cooper. How many years went Cooper? We're not the same without you. Yeah, I do like that. It's about time Cooper had a chance, to be fair, because I think he's been absolutely unreal. And it was crazy. I think, against Chef Wednesday, Berardi was really, really good. But we definitely missed Cooper against Wigan. Had Cooper been on the pitch, I don't think Wigan scored their second goal. So it was such a miss, and I do think if you look at his performance against Brentford within the first 5-10 minutes, Cooper was about it. And he was the same again on Sunday. I think he's been an absolute monster this season. Gary Keith, thanks Barker's been saying for ages, third place is not ours. I don't know if Barker has mentioned that previously, but for me it is. Third place is secured. Call me crazy for putting it out there, but yeah, we honestly, all we have to do is pick up a point against Ipswich, and we will get a point, in my opinion. So no worries there, and we will play 6th. And if I'm wrong, then I'll quit the channel. I won't. Adam Man TV, yes Joe, imagine the scenes when we win the playoff final. Defo got renewed confidence in the team after the performance against Villa. Bring on the playoffs and enjoy the ride. Exactly the same. I feel exactly the same, mate, because ultimately, it's put renewed optimism into the team, into the fans. And like I said on the way home, I'm just buzzing now. I was like, yeah, bring it on. We've got some extra games. Bring on the playoffs. Let's do this, We can still do this. Y2CJR says, does anyone know what bonuses the players receive if we get promoted? No, mate, I don't. I don't. Jimmy BS roast beef. Sheffield is a Tin Pot club with Tin Pot supporters. We've got a lot of love in there for the Villa fans. Jack Torrance, who I guess is a Blade, has said, Jimmy, the Tin Pot club is going to the Prem. Fair play. Listen, a lot of people won't agree with me. It's Leeds or Leeds, but I don't mind Sheffield United. I think it's absolute. I think Chris Wilder's done a top job. He's been in the Championship for 2 seasons, and he's gotten promoted. You know, Chris Wilder used to manage Halifax Town. He's come from absolutely nowhere, and he's now going to manage in the Prem. And you have to respect that. You have to respect it. You know, look at the job Daniel Farker's done at Norwich. Have a look at their transfers. I think Ramblings Connor tweeted it out earlier on, and it was crazy to see the money that's been spent. I think they got back 3 or 4 players that were about the same amount as Bamford, and yeah, I've just seen someone put in there. I think it's Dave Wagstaff. Sheffield United okay, Chef Wednesday wankers. Totally agree, mate. Totally agree. I do have a sort of respect for Sheffield United, in all honesty, and just the way they've gone about it. And fair play to them. I don't like some of the individuals, Pedro Henderson, for example, but there you go. You don't have to like everyone, but I don't know, you know, through the channel I've met or speak to a couple of Sheffield United fans as well. You know, me pal Lee, and yeah, they're a good bunch. Fair play to them, man. At the end of the day, they deserved it. Listen, Chris Wilder said it. They've lost 1 since Boxing Day. What have we? We've lost like 9. You know what I mean? And we just ran out of steam a little bit. The squad wasn't big enough, and maybe that's something Bielsa will learn next season if he's still here and we are in the Championship. That's something he'll learn, because ultimately when Sheffield United got them injuries to Billy Sharp, to Egan getting his red, and Basham getting injured, we all thought, do you know what, they've just dropped points against Millwall, we're back above them, they've got the 3 top boys out, and what did they do? They just got replaced. You know, you've got Scott Hogan, Gary Medine, McGoldrick and Billy Sharp, all top operators at this level. We've got Roof and Bamford, and fucking Bamford, I don't even know what he's doing at this moment in time. Honestly, watch his game. He's so weak. So weak. And the thing is, he doesn't even win free kicks, you know? I always respected Wood for that, man. Like, you would go up for 50-50 balls and just seem to win free kicks. Because that's what was frustrating with Lasoga. I remember Lasoga going up, and I think the guy's absolutely massive. And he can't win a ball. And when he does, he ends up giving free kicks away. Wood had a special talent in that area. For me. But yeah, Bamford's just weak. Let's have a look at some of yours. Howard Foster. Leeds have blown it. If you are not good enough, forget the Prem. West Bromwich Albion will go up. If you're a West Brom fan, just check your last performance against Leeds, mate, and come back to me, okay? Then we will talk. Ray Diato says, you mean you cheated, Derby? How did we cheat? Explain to me how we cheat. Tell me what advantage we got from. Honestly, if you can give me a real, genuine argument as to the information that we got from going to their training ground, bearing in mind that he was spotted and therefore couldn't get the information required. If you go back to previous games where we'd done it, because Bielsa said it had been done from the start, so if you think about Stoke or you think about, other teams, tell me what information we got from that then made us absolutely batter Derby. Like, could we have that much of an edge? Really? From going to watch? You don't think it happens? Really? Come on. I think it's very naive to think that one is the game. If you watch the games, you would see. Let's have a look. Irene Dedick, hey Joe, hi there. Paul, if Leeds get to the final, they will bottle it, just my opinion. I hope you're wrong, mate. Benchwarmer, opinions on United and their fan base. Like I've said, I respect Sheffield United, mate. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, bring on the playoffs, Barker says. K41, Villa versus Leeds would be madness atmosphere-wise. Yeah, listen, I watched the Under the Cosh video. They did do all right. There's a lot of BS coming out from Villa fans saying we outsung you in your own ground. Have a day off. Never happens. Never happened, never would happen. So have a day off. You were decent support compared to some that come to Ellen Road, but you didn't outsing us. Have a day off. If you listen, man, you go back and watch it. We sung Kiko, Casilla, Pablo Hernandez for about 25 minutes. Same against Wigan. But yeah, just back to K41's comments. A lot of people who are opposing fans have all messaged me and said Villa Leeds would be an immense final. It would be. You know, what was it last season? Fucking, who was it? Was it Huddersfield Reading? No, that was season before. But oh my God, you remember that Huddersfield game? When it, oh, what a shower of shite. At least with Leeds v Villa, you're going to get a good game, man. Let's be honest. You're going to get a very good game. And it's going to be watched. Like, you forget just how big Leeds and Villa are. Villa are a big club as well. They are a huge club. So to have both of them teams fighting it out for Premiership, it will be watched. I'm talking, by millions. So yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm not gonna lie. I do see. I've already said to you, I think we get third. I think we beat Derby or Borough, whichever it may be. I think it'll be Derby, but I think we beat them. I think Villa come past West Brom. And then the final's anybody's for me. The final's anybody's. The nerves. It takes one goal, doesn't it? From a corner, any sort of, and it can just totally change the game. I'll be so nervous, but just so much riding on it, right? Because we deserve to go back. It's been too long, man. So yeah, we can get there, man. But yeah, I'll enjoy the day. I'll enjoy the experience. MC at the beginning of the season, it's gone, nightmare. Sorry, I do apologise. I'm that far behind the comments. People who watch this regularly will know I ain't up to speed. But I will catch up. Let's have a look. Michael S. What does everyone think of Clark getting Young Player of the Year over Roberts? Now, I said this 2, maybe 3 weeks ago in Monday Night Football. The reason that was due to the fact of when when the nominations were put out. If they'd have been put out a little bit later, then Roberts would have got it. In all honesty, Roberts would have got it if it had been put out later. Genuinely, he would have. However, it was put out earlier, and Clark, homegrown talent, you are always going to struggle against someone who's not homegrown. He's from, I believe, the Midlands. Always going to struggle. On reflection, for me, Roberts probably does deserve it. But it was all down to when the voting was initially started. Because I said it on Monday Night Football, and anyone who watched it will know. I said if I, on reflection, could change my vote now to Roberts, I would have done. Because Clark hasn't been the same boy since he came back from his injury against Borough. However, I'm happy that he's got it because, if Roberts wasn't there, then he deserves it. You know what I mean? And but I do think, upon reflection, had it been put out a little bit later, then Tyler Roberts would have won it and would have deserved to have won it, in my opinion. Player of the Year was the correct decision. I really love KP, but ultimately Pablo's been immense. But yeah, and goal of the season, I got them all bang on, to be fair. But I would have changed Roberts. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there about Jack Grealish. A lot of Villa fans, listen, he's a talent. Do not get me wrong. He's an absolute talent. But there is a lot of being on the floor. And Dean Smith coming out. And I really don't like Dean Smith. I think he's an absolute cockwomble. But saying out, these players need protection, listen, it's a very it can put seeds of doubts in referees' minds, believe me. I think Conor alluded to it, the fact when he goes down that half the Villa team crowd the referee. Dean Smith makes comments about protecting Grealish. So then when he does go down, and he has got that much talent, that they go, they're just bringing him down. They're just absolutely siving him down. And every time he goes down, the ref then straight away, it's Grealish card. Give him a card. Yeah, they're bringing him down. When if you watch that game back and look, And it's a good talent, man. It's a talent. I know that sounds crazy, but in the modern game, it's a talent. He's able to win free kicks at a whim. You can see it. Watch the video clips that have been put out. And another thing I want to touch on. If retrospective actions, given out, then Conor Hourihane should not be playing. He should get a 3-game ban for me. 100%. Because he punches Click in the chest. And do you know what? There was a lot of negative shit coming out about Mateusz Click. How he's scum because he went on and scored. I said in my post-match, that wasn't really the issue for me. By that time, Villa players are coming on to try and challenge him. He has to beat a defender to put it in the corner, and it was a really good finish, by the way. The issue was with Roberts. He did look to slow down, and he did look like he was shaping his body to put it out of play. But if you look at Click, and people calling him scum, look at the way he responded. When Hourihane grabs him round the neck, yeah, he could have reacted. He didn't. When Hourihane goes over with his little bum chum, Grealish, and the crowd Click, and Hourihane punches him. Click also could have reacted, hit the deck or hit back, but he didn't, and he went and apologised. So there you have it. Let's have a look. K41, a lot of love for myself and Connor's previews and reviews. Thank you very much for that. Ben the Beaver, I think that's a Millwall fan, says, be nice to see you next season. Looks very likely at the moment. That's if you'll come to Welham Road, mate. I know you all turn out for your FA Cup final. Like fathers with the daughters and that, giving it all cut neck signs and that, because you're just a special breed and that, rock hard. I know you turn up for your cup final, but will we see you at Elland Road? Probably not. And just go back to that lovely video that's doing the rounds of that lovely specimen, that woman giving it the old mellow, and then she turns to her lad. Oh, have you seen him? Sorry, I shouldn't really. David Muir, I remember we slated Chris Wood early on and he became a really good striker. Bamford will get better, unfortunately he's not at the moment. There's a shout for that, fair play. Someone wants to know where Claudio's from. Do you know what? Shall I out him now? Find out where he's from. He's a posh boy, man. He's from where Bamford's from. Mega Beastie Boy 34. Is it best to rest some key players like Hernandez for the Ipswich game to get full fitness for the playoffs? Maybe there's a possibility. Maybe you could make a few changes. Don't need wholesale. But for me, I'd like to see Roof start back up top. That's the one key one I want to see. When the lineup gets announced at 2 o'clock on Sunday, I want to see Roof leading the line, and I want him to get a couple of goals against a pretty poor Ipswich side. Fingers crossed. David Muir, Phillips awesome. If we don't go up, will we lose him? I don't think so. I do not think so. Hope not. Ginger Smoggy, my mate from work, Bamford was a steal at 10 million. I mean, you'd not. I don't know if you'd come in with like trying to grief that we paid that for him. I think it was 7 with add-ons, but ultimately, mate, what did you pay? You paid quite a lot for fecking Britta Sombalonga, and he's pony, absolutely pony. But there we go. Foink says I can see KP getting captaincy. Maybe one day in the future. Not at the minute while Cooper's there. I think even when we were giving Cooper stick, he was still getting captaincy. So that says all you need to know about Liam Cooper's influence and professionalism in that dressing room. Even when we gave him stick, he was still getting captaincy from managers at the time. Stephen Darcy, don't give up your day job, which I believe is in reference to my singing. I have no plan on doing that, mate. Let's have a look. Radiator says you thought second was yours, mate. I thought the title was ours a couple of weeks ago. you know, I can be wrong. You know, these things happen in football. Dave Wagstaff, Borough Derby. Which you think? I think it'll be Derby, mate. I think it'll be Derby. Quinn, 5 years from now, Joe's working for Leeds Fan TV with a BTEC DT, Troops, Cloud and Ty reviewing our games outside ER. No, it's not going to happen, Quinn. We're not about that life. Jensen Boyle, get these Blades people out of the chat. Listen, let's let them in, man. People can chat, man. Football, everyone's got their own opinion. Let's have a look. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there about Sheffield United. You know, Wilder does play a decent. You know, I've seen a lot of stuff as well on social media saying Sheffield United shit brand of football. They do not play a shit brand of football. They're a good football inside, in my opinion. The overlapping centre backs, even Bielsa came out and said himself that they have a good style of play. Yeah, Paul Williamson, I'm a Blade. Wilder was not calling Leeds as a club muppets, just a couple of players, namely Bamford, embarrassing. Yeah, well, I do think Bamford came out and said after the game when you've got a result at Elland Road, Bamford came out and said you celebrated like you'd won the title or whatever it was, much like Dean Smith did about us or when we celebrated down at Villa. And I think Forshaw had words to say as well. The pressure was on them. I'll be watching the game, all that sort of stuff. Why not? The pressure's on. And he name-checked them, because obviously he'll read the press, right? So listen, you can't hate on them at the end of the day. We do exactly the same. Bremner's Ghost, Bielsa burnout strikes again. I've seen this a few times. It's lazy journalism. You can't call it Bielsa burnout when we've gone, 44 games of the season, you know, and we're in third place. No, not for me. How do we see? Cammy DZN says, how do you see playoffs going? Our Leeds favourites after Sunday? For me, yes. And the reason that's being is due to the fact that listen, we've only lost once. We've lost once against West Brom. Yeah, we lost once against West Brom. All the rest we've had positive results out of. So you've got to be positive. Got to be positive. I think as Leeds fans at times we're a bit glass half full because of the past and how things have gone. I just see, but if you ask most of opposing fans, I think a lot of them would say Villa prior to Sunday. But although it still feels like we got a positive result, even though it was only 1-1. Listen, we stopped the winning streak. If they'd have beat us and beat us well, then I'd have said Villa, in all honesty. But I still would have believed. You've got to believe. But yeah, why not? We can do it, man. Why not? Ginger Smoggy giving me some cash. I actually work with this guy, so he's giving me money. He needs to get a life, some man. He's obsessed, honestly. He's absolutely obsessed. He's a Borough fan. He's put Bamford 10 million. Ha ha ha. Gee up, you dosser. Mate, what did you pay for British Sombalonga, Aaron? Tell me what you paid for British Sombalonga and tell me which one's been value for money. Because goal to game ratio, Bamford's doing well. I'm telling you, I come to work, he comes to work, he comes sees me. I'm giving him information. Yeah, I say, oh yeah, Bamford's not been up to it. And then he tries to use it. Get your own crack. Get your own crack, you're a crack snatcher. I tell you this all the time. I give him information and then he tries using it against me. Honestly, you need to get a life, man. Get on your life. I'll go see him tomorrow at work. Give him the old fucking Leeds smile, whatever that is. Hey. Let's have a look. You got Barkers and Tiger Steel having a bit of a love off here. Oh, I spoke to you on Twitter. Oh, so did I. I'm only joking, boys. Let's have a look. Andrew Saxton, fan of the channel, top boy. Yes, we got something from Spygate. 100%. 110% we found out Lampard is a crybaby. True. Ben the Beaver, the Millwall fan, still in here, still loving life. True Motions one, in my opinion, Bamford has been quality, just been really inconsistent at times, possibly due to injury or lack of confidence, but for sure I'd start Roof as he's better starting and Bamford can impact off the bench. Yeah, fair point. Listen, this season has been tough on us, and we've had a lot of injuries. It's a totally new brand of football for a lot of them. They've had to exert themselves. I think Bielsa even came out in his press conference and said he's got the stats to back up that these sort of seasons wouldn't happen again. The amount of injuries we've had, the missed opportunities, there is efficiencies in front of goal. But yeah, let's have a look. Aston Villa FC forever. Let's see what the Villa fan has to say. Leeds are tidy and all and retain the ball, but as soon as you get to the box, you freeze and have no clue what to do and result to long shots. Yeah, I think, listen, there is a point of that. On reflection, I've been thinking about it, right? And I look at some of our earlier games. If you look at some of our earlier games, in them situations, the one player, and I have said, he can do one for me because he left, right? But Samu Saiz was that one player. Look at the West Brom game, right? We're 4-0 down, and he plays a lovely little dink ball over to Pablo, and Pablo scores to make it 4-1. I think he does it the week after in another game as well, and I think it was against, might have been Derby, or it could have been Stoke on the opening day of the season. He plays a lovely reverse pass through to Click, and Click puts it in the back of the net. They're the sort of balls, sort of player that is able to unlock a door, and that's what we have missed. Because when you do get a banker four, and a defence as strong as Villa's, because they were very strong, I thought, the two centre-backs, regardless of what you think of them, were class. They are top centre-backs. And I don't know, is Mings on loan from Bournemouth? I think he might be. And I think Bournemouth, if they let him go, for me, silly decision. And I'm almost certain, I read somewhere, that Scum were looking at the other centre-back. And I hate saying his name because I struggle to pronounce it. But is it like Tuzanabe or whatever? I thought he was really good. I think for me, Pontus and Cooper are arguably on their day the best centre-back partnership in the league. A lot of supporters and fans won't agree with that. But just have a look at the players team of the year. And they were the centre-back partnership. So, tells you all you need to know. Their peers have nominated them as the centre-back partnership. Not just one, both of them. Their peers. So that tells you all you need to know, whether or not you agree or disagree. So I do think we have missed Samu in that situation, because he is that player that can unlock that door. If you look at that first goal for the under-23s tonight, Izzy could offer that. But there's something there that Bielsa's not sold on. But there you go. Super LUFC said he's actually on loan from Scum. So there you go. So that's where I've seen the Scum link. So apologies. But yeah, what was I? I've lost my train of thought now. Let's get back to your comments. So, let's go. Paul Williamson, nobody's got a divine right to be in the Premier League, no matter how big you are. Agreed. Connor's left a message, but then retracted it. Why? Carl, the difference between us, Sheffield United and Norwich is if we go up, we're looking to make our mark like Wolves, but better. Norwich looking to just survive and will be just found out. I don't agree. I don't agree with that. I think Daniel Farkas will do a good job, and his football this season's been pretty scintillating, and I think they could do a job. If you look at a Cardiff side, they're the sort of team that are looking to survive. I don't see that from Norwich, in all honesty. I don't see that. And I do think these two teams that go up, they will want to follow the Wolves model. And what I mean by that is they're not going to go wild. Listen, Wolves went wild in the Championship. But if you look at Fulham, for example, Fulham spent like over 100 million. I think they're the first team to spend 100 million and be relegated, because all they did is just bought a brand new side. You know, you had Kearney and players like that have been there for a while that I believe were on the bench and stuff. Players that have got them there. And I think with Norwich and Sheffield United, you're going to have the same. They're going to have they're going to keep faith for them bodies. And Bielsa would do the same as well. You know, people say, we're not ready for the Prem. Listen, we would need some extra additions. Don't get me wrong. 100%. But, you know, we're not going to reinvent the wheel like Fulham have tried to do and just try build a brand new side. It just doesn't work. And it's shown that. But I do think Norwich and Sheffield United will have a very, very good crack at staying up. I don't think they'll look to survive. I think teams like Norwich, in all honesty, will look, and maybe even Sheffield United to an extent, especially with the budgets that they've got and what Premier League money can do. Would they be that bothered about? Listen, I know you want to stay in the division, but for a club like Norwich especially, I don't think they'd be that fussed about coming back down. Because if you look at Burnley, for example, what they did, yeah? Came down, went back up. You know what I mean? And now they're in a different, totally, you know, they're consolidated in the Prem for me and probably be around for a while. And I think a Norwich wouldn't be that fussed about, you know, following that same model. But I do think Daniel Farke will have a decent go. But listen, this is just my opinion. A lot of you might not agree. I don't know, you know, I don't profess to know everything. Listen, I said Scum were on the way to watch Trusanarby 5 minutes ago, and it turns out he already fucking plays for them. So it tells you all you need to know, you know. I know about Leeds, though. I think. Let's have a look. At Wembley, so this is Adam Chadwick. He says, at Wembley, who you having scoring the goal that takes us up? If I could pick anybody, Berardi. No. I don't know. Pablo. Give it Pablo. You know, it broke my heart seeing him cry after Brentford. It broke my heart. Listen, I was absolutely annoyed just because we'd thrown it away. I was more still up on a high after the Wigan result. Like Conor said as well in his post-match before, you shouldn't, or I think it might have been pre-match to Villa, should you really be that disheartened by losing away at Brentford? And on reflection, he's got a point. But I was still up on a height, I think, after Wigan. I was still annoyed. And I watched that game. I didn't go down. Got offered a ticket, but it just logistically was a nightmare for me with me living in Sunderland. But yeah, I watched that game. And then after that game, and I seen Pablo crying. And Bielsa going on the pitch and cuddling the players. It just brought me back down to, like, you know what? They've give it their all. With on paper, a mediocre side. Look at where we finished last year. And it tells you what you need to know. Shows you how good of a coach Bielsa is. Yeah, it's been an immense season, and like I say, I'm buzzing that it's still going to continue. And I can't wait. I cannot wait for the playoffs. I can't wait, honestly. Let's have a look. Riley Mulvaney says Abraham will be in Cooper's pocket. Jack Torrance says, I think it was a blade. I think Wembley will suit Leeds. Good point. All you need is a little bit of luck, which, to be fair, has deserted Leeds over the last few games. 100%. Joe T says, in my opinion, Klitsch is still underrated by Leeds fans. I don't think so. I think his form's dropped. I don't think he's underrated. I think we're all aware of how good Klich is. I mean, the song tells you that. We sing it nearly every single game. We're aware of how good Mateusz Klich is. I just think his form's not been the same as it was in the early parts of the season. And I think a lot of us would agree with that. John Heckles, good evening, Joe. Hope you're feeling well. Mott to everybody else. Thank you, pal. Barkers, if Grealish go down and you're getting a yellow, give him a fucking reason to go down. Let's have a look. Connor, Grealish couldn't handle Phillips. End of. Throws himself to the floor. There isn't a more protected player in the Championship. Hourihane should be out the cheat. And Bamford, yes, should be banned too. Yeah, it'd be interesting, Connor. I don't know if you're aware, if you are still watching. How does the retrospective ban work? Because his yellow was given in the melee that ensued, I think think he was given the yellow due to his part in the melee. So would they then give him another yellow on top of that? I'm not sure how that would work. But I do think Hourihane should be banned. First of all, he's the one who approaches Click. And on all this shit coming out from fans, especially Villa fans, saying Click was scum. Listen, he apologised. He got grabbed by the neck and reacted brilliantly. He got punched in the chest and reacted brilliantly. A lot of players. Say if that's Grealish. Say if that is Grealish. That's it. That's what we'll do. Let's say it's Grealish, right? And Pablo walks over and Pontus comes over and bangs him in the chest. You tell me how Grealish is reacting. Genuinely. Any Villa fan watching this now, tell me how Jack Grealish reacts to Pontus punching him in the chest. I'm telling you now, without any shadow of a doubt, that guy hits the deck, rolls about like an absolute fanny. 100%. And any Villa fan who disagrees you're not being true to yourself. So for all these people that were saying, no, Click, scum, blah, blah, blah. No, he dealt with the situation with a lot of... I mean, he came out, for me, smelling of roses. Because he apologised for his actions to manager, you know... And to be punched in the chest, to even be grabbed around the neck, and the guy didn't retaliate. Do you know what I mean? So people calling him scum need to check themselves, for me. And then like I've said to yous, look at how Grealish would have reacted if Pontus punches him in the chest. I'm telling you now. It'd be a different story. And not only that, it'd be in the media. The media, 100%. And I know a lot of people are putting in, yeah, but he didn't react off a player punching him in the face and that. It's a different kettle of fish. He's not going to gain anything from that. Listen, if Grealish reacts to a fan who's punched him on the pitch and attacks him or retaliates or punches him back, can you imagine the backlash he would get in the media? Genuinely. Can you imagine? He can't react to that. However, if what does he gain from it? Tell me what he gains from a fan punching him. What does he gain? Nothing. He doesn't gain a job. He gets absolutely vilified for not being professional. There you go. A lot of people would forgive him for hitting that guy back. 100%. However, if Pontus punches him in the chest, what can he gain? He can gain a ban for Pontus. He can gain a straight red. So you've got to look at it differently, guys. I know a lot of you have seen it coming through. Well, what about when the fan hit him? Yeah, I get that. But what does he gain from that? Nothing. Look at what Cantona did. Scum. Look what Cantona did to that player. Look what happened, yeah? Look at the ban. Grealish getting a similar sort of ban, regardless of if that guy punches him first or not. Genuine. But he has something to gain. And I'm telling you now, honestly, if it was Grealish, it's getting played out a totally different way. And I even think if it was a Leeds player punching him in the chest, even the media's playing it out a different way. We've seen it on Twitter. We've seen it. People calling out, you know. I think Sky Sports actually tweeted out something along the lines like a clip of Bamford. And then people were at him and saying, well, what about this? What about this? What about that? That doesn't get reported because it's Leeds. There you go, rant over. Apologies. Let's catch up. Chris Burgess. I'm a huge Sheffield United supporter, but truly hope Leeds join us in the Premier League. I hope we do too, mate. I hope we do too. Aston Villa FC forever. When you come to Villa Park, you celebrated as if you won the league. Now look. Right, okay. You're taking the words out of Dean Smith's mouth. But let's just look at it on the context of the game. You celebrated a goal yesterday, and I've seen clips. You went wild because Adoma was allowed to walk and put it in the back of the net. You went wild, right? I've seen it. I've seen it from your fan vlogs, everything. Now, you celebrated that. Now let's take it back. You're playing away from home. You're 2-0 down at half time. You bring it back to 2-2. You're in the dying moments of the game. It gets put to Roof, who volleys it on his weaker foot in the bottom corner to win the game 3-2. Tell me how you're celebrating that. Genuinely. Be honest with yourself. You went wild over getting a ball rolled into the net by a Doma. We've all seen it. So put yourself in the shoes of my friend Conor, for example, who went out of the game. Took my ticket, the knob. Only joking. But you're 2-0 down at half time. You're at Aston Villa, big club, not going to deny it. Very big club, lovely stadium. 2-0 down at half time. You're fighting at the top end of the league. It's crunch time. It's around Christmas time, I believe. And you bring it back to win 3-2 in the dying moments of the game. Yeah? So let's think about it here. How do you celebrate that? You go wild. You go absolutely wild. So don't, look at yous now, look where yous are now. How do you expect people to celebrate that goal genuinely? There you go. Mark Conway, yeah, but you bottled winning the league. Zubi Zatra's just said, we celebrated beating you at yours after being 2-0 down. You look pretty chuffed with your 3-goal draw. That's what I'm saying. K41 says, Leeds haven't bottled anything, just watch, they'll get promoted. And what a sweet way we could do it. And that's from a Sheffield United fan. Imagine if we did go up. Unreal. Through the playoffs. Quinn says, Janssen is not Premier League quality, prove me wrong. I know Connor's on that as well. There was a lot of stuff coming out about, we'll lose a lot of players. And Connor made a good point. A lot of people say Pontus, but is he ready and equipped for the Prem? Genuine? I don't look at this team and think, oh God, we're going to get absolutely picked apart. Then say, like Bamford, for example, they'll get picked apart. And that's mad to think about where they are in the division. But they've got some serious talent on their hands. They'll get picked apart. I don't think... And it comes back to that thing. Sorry guys, my battery. It comes back to that thing of in showing how good of a coach Bielsa is. Because the talent, natural ability-wise, they're not on the same levels as you like Bamford and that. Call me crazy. I don't know if you agree. But look at Benrahma, Canos, Morpay. The guy in the middle, Sawyers. They're the team where other teams will look and say, right, we're taking him. I don't think people are looking at Leeds United and maybe KP, Jack Clark. Don't think they've seen enough for Shackleton yet. But KP, Jack Clark. No other Prem teams, I just can't see it. If Ruford had carried on in the same vein and not picked up an injury, maybe arguably lower Premier League side takes a chance on him, takes a punt on him. But no, I can't see it. I can't, genuinely. I can't see clubs having a look and saying, right, we're going to take this from our team. I genuinely don't. Let me know what you guys think. I know Commerce commented and Connor makes a very good argument. Probably can articulate it better than what I just did there. So I'll have a look what he's got to say on the matter. Claudio, why are all these fans hating on Leeds all of a sudden? Was you a bit too scared to do it earlier when we were second? A lot of it's probably... I mean, they've hated on us from day dot, but that's what I'm saying about, like, my Borough fan, mate. I haven't heard of him for weeks. But it's fashionable and nice to hate Leeds, but we don't care. I don't even know what I'm doing with my arm there. Hey, there we go. Let's have a look. I'm well behind, guys, as per. I do apologise, and I can see the viewers are slowly depleting. So, apologies. Dead Snail 1204 says, Sheffield United fan here. As much as I want Leeds to go up in the playoffs, I do think goals are still an issue for you guys. Agreed. If we don't go up, that's the reason why. And every Leeds fan will tell you that. Bielsa will tell you that. Probably the squad will tell you that. Ultimately, where our season has faltered has been in the goals department. Our efficiency in front of goal. Let's have a look. Freddie Mac. Joe, my only concern for the playoffs is that we need to win the games convincingly in normal time to avoid shithousery off other teams and bent refs. Okay. Borough, fair enough, but I think it'll be Derby, and in Derby we beat them in normal time for me. We beat them in normal time, especially over 2 legs. We've shown that this season. Lampard doesn't have the tactical nous. Listen, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, to be able to better and grind out a result against a super tactician in Bielsa, in my opinion. And I think he tries meets fire with fire, and we just absolutely schooled him. Just my opinion. We've done it twice, and I think we'll do it again. I mean, it'd be a total Leeds thing for us to get knocked out by bloody Derby. The media would have an absolute field day. Spygate, cheating got you nowhere. They beat you in playoffs. Oh, can you imagine Fat Frank could be jumping about with his moves in the air? Honestly, it'd be an absolute Leeds thing for us to do it. And not going to lie, so don't be surprised if it fucking happened. But no, I think we beat Derby. And then the playoff final's anybody's. Playoffs final is anybody's. It's Ranger 03. What kind of striker should we get in the summer? Not too sure, mate. I'm not too sure. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I don't know if we even strengthen there. I know that sounds crazy. But some of the chances that are created as well, they're not 100% clear cut. Do we need some more goals from wings? Yes. You know, it's been mentioned before. Dan James, for example. If we had Dan James, there would be a shout. Feely says all players dip in and out of form. Bamford just not playing well and low on confidence. Not ideal at this time of the season. 100%, and that's the issue, isn't it? It's this time of the season. So for me, Roof should start next game. Stuff on there from Saiz. Shane Shanks, we can still go up. We need to put more goals away. We can't give up on the lads. They've been brilliant this season, 100%. I've got a Villa fan telling me how to pronounce 2-1 Zene. 2-1 Zebe. 2-1 Zebe. Yeah, fucking scum. I didn't even know. He's shite. I'm joking, man. I'm joking. There's a lot of love in there for John Terry, Tom Kearney as well. Stuff about Grealish being the best player in the league. Maybe when Pablo's retired, not right now. Let's have a look. There's a lot of to-in and throwing. Sorry guys, I'll try catch up. A lot of love in there for Tyler Roberts. The ARC clan official says basically, as a Villa fan, I have to say Roberts is a good godsend for you and changed the game. He did really well. Agreed, mate. I think it's mad that it's took, and I was saying this about the KP deliveries, not deliveries. I think it's mad it's took this long for us to unlock that potential. I just hope Bielsa saw what we seen and does start him there against Ipswich. But my worry is he starts for Harrison. Claudio, it depends on what ground the yellow is given. Conor can't stand Hourihane. Started it all. Punches click would have knocked him silly. There's a lot of stuff about Grealish. Obviously, this is in relation to the what I mentioned about how Grealish would react. Conor wades in. Grealish couldn't handle our Calvin. Never been silenced that much this season. Didn't like it, so starts giving it large and throwing himself to the floor, little child. Yeah, there was one, even the Cooper challenge, and it was so frustrating to see, and that's when I think the boos really started to come for Jack, because initially it wasn't as loud as it ended up being when he got subbed, for example, when everyone's shouting wanker, wanker, wanker. He gets challenged off Cooper. Now, when I'm watching the game, it looked like a decent challenge, genuinely. Seeing it back, he does follow through. He's on the deck. The Villa players start remonstrating with the ref, and Jack Grealish gets up, yeah? Then as soon as Cooper's... So it's just to further fuel the ref. Oh, there's an opportunity. Is he going to go? Is he going to go? So we're all over him. He pulls out the yellow, then Jack Grealish hits the deck again. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, he goes off and then gets brought back on. And it's like, hang on a minute, mate. It's like the keeper, for example. The Villa keeper, kept going down injured towards the end of the game, and then he makes a point-blank save, a decent save. I forget who it's against, and we're all turning around going, he's not fucking injured now, is he? You know what I mean? And it's that similar sort of thing. Like, Grealish jumps up within a flash, and then hits the deck again when he realises the red's not being given. But there, Kean Macken. Click had a brilliant reaction. The Villa players started it all, but the Villa players should be the ones looked at. Yes, we done the wrong thing morally, but you don't get the whole team on Click. Some saying that Harrison should be gone. I don't agree with that. I think he'd be a decent squad player for the future. Darren Walker, if we take our chances, we kick Villa's arse. Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff that there wasn't, I think Villa fans saying that we weren't that great and stuff. I'm not saying we were immense, but I thought we were the better side throughout the 90 minutes. Kieran Emery, from a Villa fan, playoffs is a lottery. It was horrible last year for us. Anyway, good luck in your semis. Conor Janssen doesn't walk into any Premier League side. Any small attacker that goes at him, he always struggled. Good season, but still many gaps to his game. Carl, I know it's not good for the heart, but secretly would rather get promoted via the playoffs. The win in the final of sorts at Wembley will be good experience for the boys. Agreed. If given me the option, go up as champions or even as automatic, I'd still rather go up at Wembley on the final game of the season with the whole world watching. Genuinely would. Wouldn't be good for the heart, you're right. I'd be so nervous, but ultimately it would be an immense day out. Barker's agreed to disagree, Connor. Janssen's leadership skills would have been vital at the likes of Cardiff this season. Barker's, I do really like your kid, but I don't think his leadership skills. For me, he ain't got leadership skills. Because if he has leadership skills, he doesn't do what he did on Sunday. He can go on a bit like a petulant child. Go back to last season. When things got tough, Janssen got injured and went off and then played the next game. I don't think he's a leader. I genuinely don't. He wears his heart on his sleeve and we as fans love him because he gives it all, yes, and yeah, come on. Gives it all that, but that's not what a leader is, in my opinion. You need to have a cool head. And I don't think... that's just my opinion. Look, I mean, just look at last season. It became a bit of a running joke for me. I used to get really pissed off at him because games would get tough and he would hit the deck and get brought off. But everyone's entitled to their opinion. I just don't think he's a leader. And there's a reason he's not been made captain. You know what I mean? Because there's been ample opportunity for it to happen. Under Gary Monk, obviously, there was Bartley and Cooper, you know. And I don't, I see a lot of it on social media when people go, people need to play for the shirt like Janssen does. Don't misconstrue someone geeing up the fans and going, come on. That's just him. That's his personality. We've seen him when he's with the Malmo fans and stuff where he's from. But sometimes in football, that's not great to have. Listen, I remember... I don't know if it was last season or the season before, and he's remonstrating with a referee, and we're all going, leave it, and he ends up getting himself a yellow, and it's that sort of attitude where that's not a leader. For me, he's the what he needs reining in a little bit, and maybe Cooper's the perfect antidote to Janssen's over-exuberance at times. He's a warrior, and that, don't get me wrong, but Yeah, I don't think he's a leader. Conor Clark O'Dur has got a chance soon. Absolutely fantastic talent. Would love to see him left back. Danny Rose-esque, maybe Ibram Roberts on that side potentially. Very exciting and quick. I do believe he's got injured, hasn't he? He's got injured in the under-23s today. Um, yeah, I do. I think he's got injured today. Because I think Phil Hay actually said that's 4 injuries now for left-sided players. Obviously Dallas, Alioski, Douglas, and now Clark O'Dur. So I believe he's injured, mate, which is a shame. You've realised that anyway, you know, because I'm miles behind the chat, as you know. Guys, just to let you know, my battery's on 10%, by the way, so it's probably going to go off. So we are going to need to wrap it up. We have been going for 80 minutes, though, an hour and 20 minutes. It's been a pleasure, as always. I'll be back next Monday as well. I'm really sorry I've not had the opportunity to read all your comments out. As I say, it's been absolutely bouncing tonight. With the comments, a lot of love as per. We've had, crazy numbers. I think there was almost 300 people watching at time. There's been a lot of opposing fans, Sheffield United, Villa as well, which is understandable. We've had that Muppet from Millwall who just talks all the time. But thank you, Beavers. Millwall. But yeah, it's been positive as per. And look, we have the luxury of our season going longer as well, so that's really good. It's been a top season. I'm going to Ipswich on Sunday. Anybody that's going who's in the chat, make sure you come say hi. I do believe our pre-matches will be out Wednesday or Thursday this week for that game. Post-matches as soon as possible after. I mean, I'm not going to get back till about 10 at night, I don't think, because I have to get from Leeds. I have to go to Leeds, get to Ipswich, come back to Leeds, and get back to Sunderland. So mine might be out on the Tuesday morning, maybe, on the Monday morning, because it's Bank Holiday Monday anyway. So I might, depending on the time, I might just leave it and do it live on my Monday Night Football. I do think me and the boys should hopefully get together as well and do an end of season review ahead of the playoffs. Fingers crossed we can make that happen. But yeah, listen, the dream is still alive. It still can be achieved. Andy LUFC, Joe, plug it in. I always plug it in, man. Yeah. Mickey Moo, love you too, mate. In Good Nick says, good luck, lads. Thank you very much. Enjoy your time in the Prem, mate. Listen, I through this channel, I've met and spoke to a few Sheffield United fans. I respect what Wilder's done. I respect Sheffield United as a club. And to be fair, you deserve it. Listen, what Wilder's done there is nothing short of amazing. He's been in the Championship 2 seasons and got you straight up. Do you know what I mean? It's absolutely crazy, and especially on the budget that you've done it. Same with Daniel Farker. Ramblings, make sure you follow him on Twitter. Always good, positive stuff on Twitter. He put out, Norwich's budget. Unreal. You know what I mean? And fair play. Ultimately, we've lost it after Christmas. But listen, we're on this channel, we ain't... Some of you might not agree, but we're not Muppets, right? As much as Chris Wilder might tell you, we're not Muppets. We're realists, yeah? We know when... Listen, some might say I've been a bit, it's in the stars and all that shit, Peter Pan or whatever. Fair enough, right? But I'm just a positive guy. But we can also, rein it in and be like, do you know what? Fair enough. Sheffield United and Norwich deserve it. But our dream is still alive, and what a way to do it by going up in the Prem. And after the performance against Villa, I have renewed optimism. I was on the floor after Wigan and Brentford. I thought if we were on the end of a hiding, I keep repeating myself, but I thought we could have been. We could have easily been on the end of a hiding. But the players showed they're still up for the fight. We as fans showed the players that we're still up for the fight. So we can still do this. We can do this, and we've got even there a Wolves fan in. So thank you for all your support, guys. As per, still got 180, and I hate saying goodbye. But I just talk shit otherwise. Plus, I need to go to bed, man. Our lass hates Mondays, I finish work at 7. I pop out somewhere. I have to go somewhere on a night. I come back, do this. You know what I mean? Things I do for this channel, eh? But no, thank you so much. And for them fans that have watched, Villa fans, Sheffield United fans, make sure you watch the rest of our content. I promise you won't be disappointed. And hopefully I'll see you all again next Monday, which will probably be like a Monday Night Football end of season review, I guess, because ultimately, that's it, game over. So I'll tell you what I'll do next Monday. We'll do an end of the season review, favourite game, favourite goal, favourite player, favourite away day, all that sort of jazz. We'll get it all crammed in. You can all put all your stuff in as well. So have a think about what your thoughts are ahead of next Monday, and we'll do it. We'll do it, man, because obviously the Championship finishes on Sunday. All the games kick off at 3 p.m. And then on Monday, you know, Sheffield United fans, Villa fans, all of yous, come back next Monday, same time, 9:30. 9:30. Oh, no. Check that. It'll be a Monday. It'll be bank holiday. So we might do it a little bit earlier. And Wolves as well. You can come as well and just talk about the Premier League, you knob. I'm only joking. But yeah, we'll do it, man. It's been a pleasure. As always, guys, I am going to go now, so I need a fag. But thank you so much for tuning in. And I'll leave it there. Marching on together, guys. The North is ours. We can still do this. The dream is still alive. It's our time. Bring on Derby. Bring on Villa. Bring on West Brom. Bring them all on. We're coming back to the Premier League. Come on, Leeds.